Somehow people are still gonna say John is a lot sexier than Greg. Well, I'm representing with my Rooster Teeth clothes. John is going to be playing with his hair. We're going to watch the honest trailer for Birds of Prey, the smash box office hit from the DC universe. Before we roll on into this reaction, guys, I did want to mention, you've probably heard us mention this before, but it's important that I re-mention it, the mention of the mentions. Download and follow us on the Stardust app. 30-second reviews for any film, TV show, and or trailer. We are posting quite a lot within this quarantine situation. We are catching up on so many different random things. I think you'll find it quite rewarding. You can post your own content there as well. The whole thing is free to download, free to use. We're not being paid to mention this, but we are using it. Do it today.
It's fun. Follow us first.
Are you stuck indoors like the rest of us? Wondering how you can help? Click the link below.
Yes, John Bailey.
Relief. They provide personal protective equipment and essential medical items to health workers responding to coronavirus. Please do your part and give what you can.
Okay. Sure.
In a world where Warner Brothers wishes Jared Leto never existed. In fact, where all Suicide Squad was a lie. Forget it ever happened. The one part you liked about the film has been plucked from an early grave and given her own squad. Just don't let her do the tattoos this time.
You spelled a tattoo wrong.
I was writing a word and I spelled it wrong.
Oh.
It's a good time to be pretty.
Birds of Prey. And the... I'm not reading that part out loud. Meet the Birds of Prey.
Meet the new Harley Quinn.
Eventually.
A lot of people in this city want me dead.
Any minute now.
The perfect egg sandwich.
No? Okay, fine.
That movie made that sandwich look good.
Yeah. With Jared Leto's body
Not
double,
that cheesy.
she's out to prove she's more than just a lady joker. So she's forming her own criminal gang, but not taking it seriously, while cracking jokes in clown makeup and using goofy weapons to fight a rich guy dressed in black. Huh, this doesn't really seem like much of an emancipation to me. More of a sparkly do-over that's not very scrumptious-lescent. Not even Fantabulous if you ask me. Explore Gotham City like you've never seen it before. In the daylight. Weird. But threatening to conquer it all is a homicidal trust fund kid in blackface. I mean black mask, but also blackface.
I got it when I was embedded with the Ngami tribe in Congo-Kinshasa.
Ewan McGregor shines as the owner of the world's worst club to hang out at.
Get on that. Now dance.
Woohoo! Who blends the lines
It's a
between
Gotham
sadistic
Club, man.
boss, bro culture
This is
avatar,
Tuesday.
and just gay enough to hope it slides past the censors in China.
So are you guys gay in the movie?
It's very the relationships is very much based in there's a one
Contracts!
As he hams his way into another great villain performance that'll get ripped on for decades because he's different than the guy in the comics. Really looking forward to hearing about this and the Mandarin until the sun explodes.
I haven't heard much about it. Any complaints?
Funny enough.
This is our story.
Almost. Can we just fast forward to them teaming up?
Finale.
We're gonna have to work together.
There we go. There's Huntress, a realistic portrayal of how awkward an orphan who trained to become a murder hobo would actually be.
Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Cassandra Cain, a kid.
Sorry, kid.
Hey, kid!
Keep the kid alive.
Price on
Boy.
You've got the wrong kid. Come on, kid. Kid.
Shoot them, kid.
Renee Montoya, a cop with a special power to... Okay, she's just a cop. And Black Canary. She sings really loud and, kicks good and stuff. I'm just saying, I know more about Katana than these ladies. And I only know 4 things about Katana. 1,
This is Katana.
2,
She's got my back.
3,
I would advise not getting killed by her.
and 4.
Her sword traps the souls of its victims.
DC does not stand for developed characters. So suit up for an R-rated ride. Batman.
Burn.
Shots
fired.
Great cast with awesome fight sequences to make this hot topic version of Beyonce's Lemonade that will thrill and delight your inner teenager. But since it's rated R for no good reason, went unseen by actual teenagers. Guess you couldn't tell the story right without turning that guy's leg into spaghetti.
Oh, pretty sick.
Dr. Quinn, offer medicine woman. My name is her name and you stole my promotion. Obi-Wan Jabroni. Sonic Boom. Flowers.
Diamonds are just for
That Renee Montoya joke
Scar
was good.
tissue that'll make you saw. The hottest nightclub in Gotham is the Black Mask Club. This place specifically. Broken legs, sad lounge singers, a single narrow room with no dance floor, and a scared Erica. It's the thing where your name is Erica, and the creepy owner of the club makes you get on a table and dance to no music.
Always DA maybe. Dr. Marvin Candle. Joe Exotic 20.
Joe!
Jared Leto.
God. You know who that is?
Up to the minute.
Sounds like a dick.
Insane Clowns Posse.
Yeah. That's accurate.
That is
Down
why
with
you
the
should
clown.
never partake in paying federal income taxes.
Whoa, Harley doesn't pay taxes and voted for Bernie? Now that's some Joker stuff. Thanks for watching, and once again, please click the link below.
That was a really sharp, honest trailer.
Yeah.
That was a very sharp, honest trailer. Damn.
Wash your hands. With great mustache comes bad CGI. I saw a tiger, and the tiger saw a man.
Yes. I love when they let John Bailey let loose and allow him to do some impersonations and accents and whatnot. It's always great. Man's a talented voiceover artist. I should reply to his text. He texted me about Artemis Fowl going on Disney Plus, and I just remembered I haven't replied yet. John Bailey, if you're watching this, I am sorry. I will wait for your comment on this video. Then I will be like, aha, he has realized that I have realized that I have forgotten. Good job again, team. Honest trailers, writers, and editors. I know everyone's working from home right now, so you can imagine the transfer upload speed that you guys are dealing with at the moment to get this Honest trailer off the ground. Yeah. But I thought this was a really sharp, well-written, well-conceived Honest trailer. We're two of the people on the internet who actually enjoyed Birds of Prey. Actually, I believe Dan Merle and Roth Cornett liked the movie too. See, we're not the only ones. We're not the only ones who like this film. I don't know how this film is performing though. If it's doing better on video on demand, I'm just waiting for the Blu-ray to come out because I'm going to buy it. Yeah. I really do like the movie.
Yeah, I do
a lot. And I do got a comment to make about what they were saying. I thought that they might do the way the audiences might react to the whole Black Mask portrayal being wildly different. And while there are people who have complained, hell, I've even heard people. I remember when we watched Joker, there was, I won't name names, I'll let her speak for herself, but there was someone who was in the theater who I didn't realize was going to the movie. She hated the way Joker was portrayed, Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal, because it's not really in tune with the comics. So some people just really have a hard time adapting or readjusting to a different portrayal. But I think the main difference with Black Mask versus Mandarin, and then why I don't think the reaction has been as heavily criticized, is because Black Mask, the portrayal up front is clearly different. Whereas there's a switcheroo with Mandarin where it's like, oh, we're getting the Mandarin we've always wanted. Yes, Ben Kingsley's delivering. And then like towards the finale, they, pull a switcheroo that I grew to appreciate over time. But in the immediate moment, I was part of that hate. I really was loathing that. So I think people were not as dismayed by this Black Mask portrayal, maybe upon like trailers and stuff, and maybe there's a hardcore comics fans who didn't like it, but I think most people were like, yeah, it's a different portrayal. I'm able to accept it more. And also, not as many people watch this movie.
Yeah, and I feel like people may be inclined to be more lenient about Black Mask, because I'm sure that the average audience probably has a little less of some of that knowledge than, say, like a character like the Joker or one of the top villains, and so it's not like Lex Luthor in BVS where it's like, obviously this character is not the character we all know. And also, I mean, not that a great performance always salvages a spiritual shift, but, you've got two great performances in Ewan McGregor and in the guy who plays Victor Zsasz, whose name I'm like, Chris Maloney. No?
Messina.
Chris Messina.
Yeah.
Chris Maloney's the guy from SVU who's coming back to Law & Order. But yeah, I think also because Victor Zsasz was pretty on point.
Sure.
I think there's also that could maybe help with that.
Yeah, that's fair. And also, I thought we got to know the Birds of Prey reasonably well. Definitely better than the Suicide Squad. I mean, I know they're just making a joke. It's honest trailers. Did they make a crack, other than the fact that they didn't want to read the title of Fabulous Emancipation? Did they make a joke in here about how the theaters changed the title a week after release to try to get more people in the seats?
It's too late.
Way too late, yeah. And that was another thing, too. It's like, we talk about it in our review. I think we were all prepped because of the marketing that it wasn't going to be really a Birds of Prey movie, but more of a Harley Quinn film. That being said, there were times I would, especially Huntress, I would forget that she's supposed to be in the movie. Yeah,
and I kind of go back and forth because it's like we did all kind of get the idea that this is going to be the Harley Quinn movie, and I don't begrudge them the fact that the movie does, by the end of it, take disparate parts and assemble a team out of it. So it's not perhaps the most on-point Birds of Prey origin story, but it still gets an origin story in there.
Yeah, that's probably my one criticism that we actually didn't really dive into, is that by the time they formed the team, the Birds of Prey, it sort of felt like, we have to have them form a team because it's Birds of Prey. You know, it didn't feel as built up to that moment or truly earned or felt. It's like, yeah, it makes sense and I'm buying it because it's Birds of Prey, but at the same time, by the time we get there, it feels a little bit like we got to doctor this in the screenplay somehow. You know?
Well, yeah, because the way the movie plays out, it feels like they definitely banded together and did something heavy, but I didn't leave the movie necessarily thinking, all these people are going to team up and spend all their time together. You know?
All that being said, I still stand by this film. I thought it was a total blast. I wish more people saw it. And I'm hoping that over time it develops more of a following. I just think I rewatched Joker last week, actually. We shot a Trailers Revisited for it and just really put me in the mood to watch the movie. I really think that this should not have been the film following Joker.
True that.
Yeah, I think that was a big no-no on their end.
Yeah, tonally
There should have been something in between, especially with Harley Quinn and the fact that you do allude, even in the trailers, to Jared Leto's Joker. There could have been more of an... Because it's like, now we're moving past that Jared Leto Joker world, the one with the Suicide Squad. So I think it could have been more exciting if you had a film in between and then you brought Harley Quinn back.
The Snyder Cut.
That's just my personal opinion.
They should just put the Snyder Cut out right after Joker.
Sure. All right, guys. Well, Birds of Prey. Have you given it a second chance? Did you avoid it at the theaters? Have you seen it on video on demand and been like, you know what, that was actually better than I thought? Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe to Honest Trailers. Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell. Follow us in the Stardust app. And last but not least, let's end this with a... Maria Hammond. Been pledged to our Patreon page for a little bit. Recently upped her pledge to get a shout out. Managed to get in that slot. So... I cooked you up a Greg poem. Her name is Maria, holier than Mother Teresa, worshipped by many in a crowded arena. Some say her name means Lady of the Sea. So set your sail on course and be free. She discovered me on movie fights, and then spent so many nights wishing she could take a bite out of this dark night. Get a movie Screen Junkies bad. Okay. Of course, Miss Hammond, that's just my ego assuming of what you're hoping would happen. Not just a fan of Greg Alba, she's also a fan of John Roca. Well, now I'm hoping Roca gets corona, because I don't want to share you. Don't tell him I said that, because he will send me a text and he knows my address, and he just leaves me feeling distressed. I know lately you've had to have surgery. I hope your recovery is going smoothly. Before the short poem is done, I wanted to say something to your son. His name is Joshua. He is your hero like UA Academia. Joshua, I believe in you. You'll be a great contributor to America. Run up rocky stairs in Philadelphia. Surf the beaches of California. Your future will be seen in the stars through the lens at a planetaria. Those are the closest words I could think of to make sense with rhyming Joshua. We're done.